But in 1873, Ulysses S. Grant was our president. In July of that year, Jesse James and the James Younger gang robbed their first train. That was in Iowa. In September of 1873, panic swept the New York Stock Exchange. It was due to a railroad bond failure and also a bank failure. New York actually shut its banks for 10 days during that month. In October of that year, P.T. Barnum's Circus, the greatest show on earth, opened in New York City. And we had another significant event happen in 1873, and that was the launch of JBT right here in Lebanon County. Again, JBT is celebrating its 140th anniversary. We want to commend the JBT folks for their planning, the detailed planning. They set this up in a way that the 140th birthday actually happened on the 140th day of the year in 2013. That's today.
You are remarkable, not only in your history and the years that you've been in existence, but you are still a hometown bank, one of the very few we have left in Lebanon County. You have not merged with a larger bank. And I know that's a credit to your good service that you keep existing as a hometown bank in Lebanon County. And I congratulate you on your anniversary, your 140th anniversary. And I have a citation from the House of Representatives to present this morning. It reads, on behalf of myself and the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, this certificate is presented to Jonestown Bank and Trust Company in honor of the 140th anniversary VIP ribbon cutting ceremony on this date, May 20, 2013, and it's signed by myself, State Representative, 102nd Legislative District. So again, we really appreciate the fine service you've given to Lebanon County, and we wish you many, many more years, at least 140 more. And I know I won't be around for that one, but we hope you are. So thank you very much.
Jonestown Bank is synonymous with Lebanon County, and I think it's especially exciting that as the county celebrates its bicentennial, its 200th year, Jonestown Bank is celebrating its 140th anniversary. And I had the pleasure of re-meeting a gentleman this morning who I don't think he was here either when the bank was formed, but Mr. Ed Hostetter, I actually worked for him, and he was quick to tell me, and he is a year or two older than I am, and he has an outstanding memory. He said, yeah, you worked for me 40 years ago. I actually did some calculating, and I think it's a little longer than that. But we have a lot of friends. The county has a lot of friends, and Josie and I have a lot of friends associated and part of the Jonestown Bank. So it's my pleasure this morning to present this certificate from the Office of the County Commissioners, the other two commissioners and myself, as a congratulations for the 140th ribbon cutting celebration. Thank you.
Our former mayor and Mr. Jonestown himself, George Kaufman, is here. George, nice to have you with us today. Timer long enough. Timer?
It's important for small towns to have strong pillars of the community. And Jonestown Bank has been a pillar of the Jonestown community for 140 years and counting. Generations have really just come and gone, and our economy has shifted countless times from the industrial age through to our information age of today. To put into perspective how far society has come over 140 years, consider that Alexander Bell invented the telephone in 1876, 3 years after the founding of Jonestown Bank. 3 years after that, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, and in 1903, as Jonestown Bank celebrated 30 years of service, the Wright brothers took to the air with the first successful airplane flight. During this period, 3 presidents were assassinated, and the United States went to war 7 times. My point is simply that 140 years is a heck of a long time, and our small town has been blessed to have a local bank that is rock solid in its foundations and its future. I want to thank the board and the bank staff for graciously working to help support this community and keep Jonestown moving forward through the next 140 years. You have an excellent operation, and an excellent leadership team, and can be proud of all that JBT has accomplished. Congratulations on a job well done. Thank you.
We were organized in May 20th of 1873. I can't even get that 1800. That just seems like way back there. 1873 was a state bank. The first bank building was a two-story house on Market Street. This is torn down now. This house also housed the Burial Hall and the engine house for the Perseverance Fire Company. The next home was on the southeast corner of Market and Lancaster Streets, where the laundromat now stands. And in 1934, we purchased this location, and it's been our headquarters and branch ever since. For Troy, I just want to tell you that the building was bought for $25,000. And our last couple of branches cost a little bit more than that, so your work's cut out for you. We need to get that cost down to the $25,000 range. Just show you how long ago that was. 1873, what a year. 140 years ago. I remember as a kid thinking 18 was old. You know, we got 18, you're going to graduate from high school, you're old. I got a little older and I thought 21 was old. Then you go along and then you think, well, 30 is absolutely it. Anybody hits 30 is really old. And when you get as old as I am, there's really not much you consider old. However, 140 years, I still consider very old. And it's even much older than I feel when I wake up in the morning, which is, I never thought I'd feel like that, but anyway. What was going on in 1873 in the United States? As Larry said, U.S. Grant was president. There were 37 states in the country. 37. Susan B. Anthony watched her case that ruled it was illegal for her to vote. She actually voted in the 1872 election for president, and they sued her or whatever and went to court and she lost. She didn't go to jail, but she had to pay a $100 fine. And it wasn't until 1919, or 46 years later, when women finally got the right to vote. For you horse racing fans, the first Preakness Stakes race ran in Maryland on May 23rd of 1873. The Jesse James gang got its start, as Larry mentioned. And the first rules for collegiate football were established. That was between Columbia, Rutgers, and Yale. They actually got together in 1873 to do that. So college football goes back to the start of JBT. And Central Park in New York was officially complete. I thought that was always there forever, but I don't know what they mean officially complete. And for you adult beverage consumers, the Coors Brewing Company began making beer in Golden, Colorado in 1873. 1873 was even 40 years before the first permanent federal income tax was imposed. The income tax was here forever. By the way, at that time, the maximum rate was 7%, and that only kicked in at incomes. It only kicked in at incomes over $500,000. And if you go back to 1873, $500,000 was a lot of money. Today, that would equate into many, many millions. So, for you people that are involved in the legislative process, taxes were low at one time. You know, so, keep working. And the other thing I found real interesting, this is something I'll remember, because I get into these weird things, but on the exact date the bank opened, May 20th of 1873, Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis patented blue jeans with the copper ribbons. So the same day that got a patent was the day we opened. And most significantly, however, as Larry pointed out, briefly mentioned, 1873 was the start of a 6-year economic depression that ended in 1879. It was titled The Panic of... What has Jonestown Bank become since 1873? Well, in 1928, we received our new charter enabling us to do business as Jonestown Bank and Trust Company. In 1974, we opened our second branch in Granville. So we didn't really open a lot of branches in that 101-year period. Our first one outside of that was in Granville in 1974. In 2007, we began to promote ourselves simply as JBT and introduced a new logo, the Bank on a Smile, and that's been very successful for us. In 2011, we expanded outside of Lebanon County with our branch in northern Lancaster County, making it our 10th branch. In 1783, we had 5 employees. And today we have over 100 very dedicated and talented banking professionals. Our chief executive in 1873 was William Brunner, and today it's Troy Peters. We offered less than 10 products to our customers in 1873, while today we market over 50. We had one location in 1873, while today we have 11 locations. All of it has been a great ride, and I believe we're well positioned for the future, and we look very much forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out. Coming out to celebrate. JBT not only is one of the oldest continually operating businesses in Lebanon Valley, but also as a successful community bank. As we stand here on the 140th anniversary on, again, this 140th day of the year, and a week away from Memorial Day, as a community banker, being gathered in a small town like Jonestown, celebrating the hometown community bank that has helped countless individuals, businesses, and organizations realize their financial dreams over every kind of economic cycle. If that doesn't make you feel proud to be part of this country and American, I think you need to check your pulse, because to me, that's what it's about. We're the fortunate stewards of this bank as we inherited a long, successful history. And I doubt the bank's founders who organized the first bank, which is right back there where the barber pole is, was in a former tavern that was named for its proprietor, Mrs. Peters. I doubt they did many car loans back in 1873. ATM maintenance probably wasn't discussed. Online banking conversions, not an issue. There's probably not much attention paid to mobile banking then either. But the one thing that has remained consistent since then has been our goal that we share today, which is helping our clients. You know, people often will come up to me in the community and they'll tell me how they feel about the bank. And rarely do they ever say, you know, JBT, you have excellent checkbook cover options. Your rates, your fees, you know, can't get enough of it. It's great. Now what they say is they say, Rick Rollman helped me finance my business. Kathy Dugan is helping me send my oldest child to school, to college. Paul Stauffer helped me buy my first home. And I know that my disabled child will be taken care of when I'm gone because of the work that Terry Rozanovich and her team and JBT Financial Services does. That's what community banking is about. That's what we are about, and that's what we will continue to be. And if we stay focused on that, there's no reason we can't be here in 140 more years with another celebration. But there is a role that we all play in that, everyone here. From elected officials, we need you to work to help keep our communities vibrant. A community bank, by definition, can only be as strong as the communities that it serves. And we need, from all levels of government, common sense regulation that helps us remain competitive as a nation, a state, and a community. And for the employees that are here, most of which are in the celebratory blue shirts. First of all, I'm so honored and proud to represent you today and every day. The way you approach your job with our customers, the level of commitment, professionalism, the caring and the character you bring to your responsibilities is extremely motivating to me. And as employees, we always need to keep in mind and keep squarely focused on why we're here. And that's serving our clients. And our goal to achieve is to help them improve their financial lives. And board members, most of which are here, we need you to continue to set our path for the future, keeping in mind that the communities we serve are better off because JBT is in them. And I don't know if there is one other person I want to recognize. I'm not sure she's here Is Evelyn Isley here? I don't, she may not have made it, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to talk about her anyway because Evelyn, she is the Jonestown historian. She graduated, I think, in the class of 1935. She's one of 2 living graduates from that class. She went to school with the father of one of our board of directors, Lloyd Deven. Senior was in that class. And she's written books on Jonestown and the Jonestown School. And every time I talk to her, I learn something about the history of this town. And she is going to help us write our history so that when we're gathered here in 150 years, we'll have something to give you. Because if we don't get that down on paper, a lot of that's going to be lost. So with that, I want to turn it back to Larry and thank you again for coming out.
Again, on behalf of the Chamber, all of our members, and want to congratulate the Board of Directors, Troy, all the team members here in JBT for the good work you do every day. You've been a mainstay here for a long time, and we